Gliding is one of the more unique areas of aviation, using nothing but the power of nature itself to stay airborne. With no artificial source of propulsion, these machines either have to trade altitude for airspeed or airspeed for altitude, in almost a constant descent towards the ground. Along with their sleek and aerodynamic design, which helps them stay airborne for long periods of time, gliders also utilize thermals, which are areas of rising warm air, which helps them to maintain airspeed while gaining altitude. In this video, I want to recreate the incredible engineering of gliders in the real world in Kerbal Space Program, with a twist however. Now, if you want to go about launching gliders in the real world, there are essentially 4 ways you can go about it. The first is to do what's called a gravity launch, which is essentially where you just roll the glider down a massive hill until it eventually gains enough airspeed to get airborne. The second way is by using a powered aircraft to tow it up to a certain altitude so that it can be released and continue its glide. The third is called a winch launch, which is essentially just a massive slingshot to get it airborne extremely quickly. I have no idea how they work, but yeah, they look pretty damn cool. Anyway, the fourth option is to use some kind of small propeller or jet engine attached to the back of the glider. Anyway, since this is Kerbal Space Program, and I can also do whatever the heck I want in this game, I'm going to attach a glider to a rocket and launch it from the edge of space to see how far we can actually glide a glider from space. Let's get into it. Starting in the VAB, I wanted to base this design off the ASK-21 to get some inspiration from the real world. Now, gliders in the real world are pretty lightweight, as they only really have to carry the necessary electrical systems along with a small amount of water, as no fuel is really necessary. Now, you would have noticed that my wingspan is extremely large, and this is because in the real world, gliders have very large wingspans compared to the width of their fuselage, so that they can stay in the air for as long as possible. Now, because my recording software glitched, and definitely not because I forgot to press record, I unfortunately didn't get the footage of me finishing off the glider or building the rocket. However, here is the finished product, and let me walk you through it. In terms of the glider, I added 2 horizontal stabilizers on top of 1 vertical stabilizer. I also added red stripes onto the glider, which will obviously automatically make it go a lot faster. Also, in terms of the rocket has 2 radially attached small solid rocket boosters to just give it that extra boost off the ground, along with 9 vector engines to ensure that it can stay on course with the extra weight of the glider on its back. Now that we've got the glider and the rocket both fully assembled, let's get this thing up into space. Now that we are in space and on a suborbital trajectory back to Kerbin, my plan is to release the glider as soon as we enter the atmosphere. So for now, we can just cruise up to our apogee. As you can see here, I'm just quickly making a quick save in case anything goes wrong during the descent or landing when I separate the glider. And I'm very glad I did, because unfortunately the first 2 attempts at landing didn't go so well. But luckily, instead of having to restart the mission, I could just resume from this particular checkpoint. Anyway, without further ado, let's get in the atmosphere and fly this glider. And with that, we have successfully landed our glider. Now, I wanted to see just how long we actually glided for, so I looked at both the game time at separation and at touchdown, and we can see that there was a total flight time of around 12 minutes and 50 seconds. Now, if you guys think you can do better than me, I'd love to see your submissions on my Discord server. Link will be down below. Anyway, guys, that's all for this video. I'll see you guys next time.